one that's been really getting a lot of attention was the answer to what would be your productive routine if you get home from work after 7 p.m. I'll have a link down below, so if you haven't read it yet, you can read my answer to it. But the thing that most people were really confused about was the fact that I didn't spend any time talking about food, I didn't spend any time talking about family, I didn't spend any time talking about any of these things, because this is a hypothetical question. I work from home. I don't get home at 7 p.m. I sometimes work till 10 or 11 p.m. at night. But I take breaks in between. This would be what I would do if I got home at 7 p.m. Which for me would mean that I want to work a lot later than most people do. Because there's no need for me to go from 8 in the morning to 7 at night if I can just do things on the things at home, or if I can push things to tomorrow, or if I can do some stuff on the weekend. I will plan that a lot better. That being said, if I got home at 7 p.m., I would definitely make sure I eat beforehand, that I eat somewhere outside, because I'm starving by 6 p.m. I couldn't wait till 7. I'd have to take either a lunchbox with me, or like a dinner box, I guess, or I'd have to go and buy some food somewhere along the way. So the first thing I said I would do is take a 5-minute rest. After such a long workday, let's say I worked 8 hours or more in some cases, going right back to doing anything, taking time with your family, all of that, or watching videos or doing anything like that would be very stressful for me. It's just one thing after the next, and there's no time to take a break for you. So the first thing I would do if I were to come home is just to take a rest. And remember, this is the productive routine. This is so you can get more done afterwards. This is not the day-to-day routine. This is the routine that you should do if you want to be more productive as soon as you get home. And yes, that means taking a 5-minute rest. This 5-minute rest is there to zone you back in. You're done with the workday, what's left to do at home? And really zoning in on that. And then the second thing I said was focus on learning instead of producing. Chances are, if you work until 7 p.m., you've produced the entire freaking day. If you work that long, there must be something that you produced afterwards. So I would take the time at home to learn more about what I produced. Otherwise, I'm just going to end up producing, and never getting anything more. Just producing the same things over and over again, never improving on what I produce. Whatever that is, whether it's a product, whether it's how you work, whether it's what you do in calls, whatever it is. I would focus a lot of my attention on learning more about what I do every day. The third point is, I would take about an hour to do this. So we'll have it about 8 p.m. now, and then I would already start to finish off the day, because tomorrow is going to be insane again. And the producing, what we just talked about, is the important part. So as soon as it hits like 8 p.m., I would probably sit down and just write down what happened. I write down my day, what went well, what didn't go so well, where can I improve on. I would just reflect. And that's something important that a lot of successful people do, that a lot of average people don't really do. They don't even look at their day, they don't look at what they did, they just, live day by day, one day after another, and go on right into the next day. Take a minute and look, what have you accomplished today? What things can you be proud of? What things didn't go so well that you can improve upon? What things went really well that gave a lot of value that you can push even further? Those are the ways to really get more out of it. If you focus on what's already good, or focus on improving what's not good, or focus on, what was the last thing I said? The first thing I said? Or just focus on making things better than they were before, that's going to push you. That's going to push your productivity, it's going to push your success rate, it's going to push your happiness. Because you can do this in any area of life. But you gotta reflect. If you don't reflect, you're basically just leaning back, praying, or hoping that something better will happen tomorrow. that you get another opportunity, that somehow you'll see the light and just go bam and instantly, work better. But that's not really how this will work. If you want to improve, you're going to have to take the time to reflect on what you did. I mean, when you've been studying in school, you didn't just, study one thing after another and never looked back at what you studied before. You always looked back. Do I remember this? Do I know this? Can I improve upon my understanding of this? You reflected a lot. You gotta do this in your work too. So I would do that, and I would spend probably like half an hour or an hour doing that, because it's very important. And the next day, or the next step, is I would plan for tomorrow. What are the things I need to get done tomorrow? What are the things I'm really going to focus on? Where am I going to put my attention? Because like I said, if you just go in day after day, just going straight back into the old same routine, you're not going to get more out of that day than you did before. You really gotta look at what's the juicy bits, what's the big problems, what's the stuff that's going to get me further. And look at that for the day ahead. If you want to do it in the morning, that's fine too. I would do both. I would do it once in the evening and in the morning, so you always have your attention on the important things. A lot of successful people and a lot of life coaches and personal development experts say you should focus on 3 main things. What are the 3 things you have to get done today? And that's a pretty good amount. You can always do more and you can always do less. That depends on you. But 3 things is, let's just say, a good average. Then step number 5, I would prepare the day ahead. I would look that all my clothes are laid out, that I maybe already prepare my breakfast if I can, and then I do everything in advance that I possibly could. Because we all know how mornings are. You wake up, you look around the room, everything's a mess, you have nothing laid out, you'd have to even find some suitable clothes first, or you have to go to the closet, you have to pick out what you're going to wear today. It's just so much of a hassle. Especially when the first thing you want to do is just go back to sleep. And just relax and just not worry about anything. Right? So just lay it out beforehand. It doesn't cost you more time. I mean, it's just doing it in the evening instead of in the morning. But it's going to make it so much easier to wake up. So now, with all of that done, it's probably about 9:15, and that's when I would get ready to go to bed. I would prepare for bed. I would, finish up the last things I need to do, put on my PJs, brush my teeth, all of that stuff, and just get ready for bed. The reason is, if I want to wake up at 5, I need to basically be asleep by 10. Now, if you don't wake up at 5, you have more time to do all of these things. And you have time for your family, you have time for other things you want to do. Maybe watch a movie, maybe, just relax a little bit, maybe do some other things. Or maybe focus more on the learning part. Whatever you want to do. But for me, I go to bed at 9:15, which is why my productive routine is very crunched if I get home at 7. So that's what happens at 9:15. And after that, I would remind myself of my goals and affirmations. I would think back of what's really important. What's the key points? What was it that I needed to focus on today? What is it I need to focus on tomorrow? And just really zone in on that again. I want to dream about my goals. I want to dream about the things that excite me. I want to live those every minute of my life. And then, the last thing I would do before I really turn off the lights is just to read a fantasy novel. The day is done. You did everything you could, so just prepare to go to sleep. You can do some meditation if you want to, some reading in a fiction novel. For me, I love fantasy novels. Or just do anything to get your mind off the day entirely. That is your goals as well. Just get it off of anything productive. You're going to have a tough time falling asleep if you don't. So just take a step back, relax, and just let your mind wander for a while. Something I do a lot is when I go to sleep and I find I can't sleep is I envision some fantasy novels and me being in the story, fighting the evil guys or whatnot, And that's really nice to get the mind off of anything important. And just, like I said, start daydreaming to go to sleep, but still start daydreaming. It's gonna make it a lot easier. And after that, it's lights out. Lights out, ready to go to bed, which would be about 10:15. Currently, I'm not doing that. I wake up a bit later, so I push my routine a bit back, but that's how it should be. So for you, what's important in this productive routine that I gave you here is that you're learning a lot, you're reflecting a lot, you're looking at what happened in the days and what's going to happen in the day tomorrow. You're not so much doing anything more, because that's what the majority of the day is for. This is time to look back, to reflect, to improve upon, to make a plan, so that tomorrow you can do even more. And like I said, big thing is this is the productive routine. This shouldn't be an everyday routine. You can, I mean, if you have the time, I mean, this whole thing took about 2 or 3 hours. If you have that time to still spend time with your family in between and maybe watch a movie or watch some episodes or something like that to relax, then go ahead, do that. But like I said, this is to be productive in that short amount of time, in those 2-3 hours. I think that's about all I wanted to say for this. I'm going to look really quickly through the comments here. Yeah, people say it's very destructive and all of that because you're not spending time with family, and I totally agree. But that's what I mean when I say I can't write everything. The question was, what would be your productive routine? I'm not trying to justify this, but I just answered the question. And that's why I want to give you guys more here. If you have any questions on this stuff, I'd be glad to make another video if this wasn't enough, but this is what I would do if I got home at 7, which I don't. I take a lot of breaks in between my day so that I can still work until 11 p.m. some days. I don't know how much I work. It's somewhere between 10 and 14 hours, I would say, and the rest is spent, you know, playing games or talking to my girlfriend or spending time with her or, you know, preparing food, stuff like that. But I do work a lot. And that's why that would be my routine. So I hope this was valuable to you. I hope you get what I'm trying to do with this channel here. And I hope you understand my point of view on this a little bit more. Like I said, if there's any questions, post them below. I do read all the comments. And yeah, post your questions. Maybe you want me to go in depth on another answer I wrote. Then just say so. Tell me what it is you want to know more about. And I'll be sure to make a video on it. Alright guys, glad to be back. I'll see you guys in the next video.